Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Making Home with Megan, or welcome if you're new. In my video today, I'm going to be showing you the party prep for my daughter's 6th birthday, and the theme she chose was her favorite store, Target. The first thing I'm going to do is the day before the party, I am baking her cake because it has to cool completely before I'm able to decorate it. And I'm going to be following the instructions for the most part, except in place of water, I'm going to be using milk. And in place of the oil, I'm going to be using butter. And I got these tips from Kim over at the Wads watching her party prep videos. I'm doing what she says almost exactly, except I'm not adding an extra egg because this is a white cake mix. I wasn't sure how that would turn out. So once I got the cake mix in the bowl, I'm going to be melting the butter in the microwave to get it liquefied and then moving on from there. Next, I'm going to be adding in the milk, and I'm just using the same amount that it calls for on the box for water, just milk instead. This is the second time that I've used these tips on a birthday cake for my kids, and there definitely is a noticeable taste difference. It tastes much more homemade, and the cake is a little bit more dense, but in a good way. It's a lot more flavorful, and I highly recommend this method. Next, I'm just adding in my 4 egg whites. Just pretend that you didn't see me drop the whole yolk in the bowl. I got it out and we're moving forward. I'm just going to get this all together and combined with my whisk and use my bowl scraper when I'm done with the whisk to make sure that I get everything off the sides and there's no like pieces of dry cake mix in there. And while I'm doing all this, I have my oven preheating to the temperature on the box. Right now I'm going to evenly disperse the batter into 2 9-inch round cake pans. I greased both of these cake pans with a little bit of avocado oil. I just poured some in the bottom of each one and then rubbed it around with a paper towel. That's a nice trick that you can use if you don't have any like spray oil on hand. Here's what they look like in the pans. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is popping them in the oven to bake. While that's cooking, I'm going to try to start assemble my balloon arch. Here's everything I have. These are confetti balloons. They have like pieces of paper inside of them. Then I have some plain old red and white. I have my balloon pump, a happy birthday sign, and a big old number 6. I will try to link everything below for you guys. Here I'm showing you how the balloon pump works. It's really simple. You just plug it into the wall and turn it on. And then when you place the balloons on, I guess I'm not sure what word you would use. I want to call it a spout. I feel like that's wrong. The pieces at the top, you place a balloon on the top, and as soon as like it realizes there's a balloon sitting on it, it will inflate it. And then you just have to tie them off. It's so much easier than blowing them up by hand. Or by mouth, you know what I mean. I'm laughing here because my husband didn't realize that these were confetti balloons, and when I inflated it, it startled him a little bit, and my kids were really excited because they didn't know there was something in the balloons and they thought that was super cool. Once the balloons are inflated, you're just going to put them inside of this balloon tape. I got it off of Amazon. It's a really easy process. You're just going to pull the bottom of the balloon through the hole and then slide it down to the smaller part of the hole so that it doesn't fall out, and then just alternate which way they're going to make the arch. This is my daughter's outfit. I just wanted to show you guys. I got these red tights and the white dress off Amazon, and this adorable bow came from Etsy. I will link the shop below in case you're having a Target birthday and you want to pick this up. While I was working on this, my cake was done, so I pulled it out of the oven. I'm gonna let these sit for a good while, that way they don't fall, like, you know, get really messed up when I try to pop them out. You have to let cake cool for a long time before you can handle it without it getting ruined. This is my big number 6. I am not going to show you guys the happy birthday balloons because I opened them up and they had a huge hole and I couldn't even use them, so I won't be linking that for you because I don't want you to waste your money. But this is what my arch looked like all completed. I hung it up over our hallway entryway and I put the 6 underneath of it. Everybody thought this looked great. It looks professional, but it's very inexpensive and so easy to do on your own, and I really recommend a balloon arch. I just wanted to show you guys, I got these cake pops from Target and then I froze them so they wouldn't go bad. They're just a few of the Bullseye dog cake pops. I'm going to be doing a little like Starbucks stand for her on the counter. I'm laughing here because the date says February 29th and this year there was no February 29th. It was not a leap year. So that employee was a little bit confused. But I just got a couple of these. Depending on how many children you have coming to your party, you know, you might want to skip on this or make them yourself. I only had 3 little ones attending the party, so I just got cake pops for the younger kids because I knew the older ones wouldn't mind. Next, I am going to start on this cake. Important to mention, this is just the crumb coat. So if you are not familiar with baking cakes, usually you have to do a crumb layer, which basically means that you put on a layer of frosting. It's gonna look a little bit messy because it might pick up some cake pieces, and then you're gonna have to let it like harden, place it in the fridge, and then go back later and add another layer of frosting on top to cover up the imperfections and the crumbs. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm adding my middle layer of frosting. I did choose 2 different frostings to do this cake. This one that I'm using right now is a Betty Crocker cream cheese frosting. It's a little bit thicker, and I chose it because it has great flavor, but also because it's kind of sturdy, so it holds up the second layer of the cake better, I find. That way it gives the cake a little bit of a taller appearance without having to add 3 layers of cake. But it's not really ideal for decorating the outside because it's a little bit hard to spread, but it is a really good frosting to use in the center. So if you're doing a layer cake, I would consider buying this frosting for that step. Trying to spread this out to be as even as possible, although when I go to put the second piece of cake on top, it doesn't look like it's leaning to one side. I'm gonna throw on some red decorative sugar. It looks like they're kind of like it's not edible glitter, but it has a little bit of a sheen to it, so I'm gonna put that in the middle layer, just, you know, to make it look cute. And then I'm going to add my second layer of cake on top. The frosting I'm using here is the Wilton white creamy decorating frosting. This is my first time using this frosting. I make my kids cakes all the time, but this is my first time using the Wilton brand frosting. I saw it had really good reviews for taste and consistency, so I wanted to give it a try, and I am happy to report that I really did enjoy this frosting. It had a really great, almost homemade flavor to it, and it was very simple to spread, but once it was spread, it held its shape. It wasn't like melting and going all over the place. It was a much better consistency than a normal store-bought frosting. So while it is a little bit more pricey compared to just plain old like Betty Crocker or Pillsbury, I do think it's worth it. So if you're making a homemade cake for, anybody in your life, see if you can find the Wilton decorating frosting. These containers I picked up were from Walmart, but I'm sure they sell them at like craft stores as well, like Michael's, anywhere that carries the Wilton brand. Know you're strong, won't feel this way for long, no. If you wanna go out, I'm just gonna put a layer. My top layer surprisingly didn't get very many crumbs, so I didn't have to go back later and put too much on top, but I'm trying to put a nice layer around all of the edges. And like I said, this is just the crumb coating, so it's not a big deal if you're doing this and you're seeing crumbs are getting mixed up in the frosting. Like, don't get upset, it's gonna be okay, I promise. The first time I baked a homemade cake, I didn't know about crumb layers, and I was so upset because there was crumbs on my frosting and I was like, oh, this looks terrible. Then I found out that's completely normal. Sorry about this camera angle. I'll move it in a second. But like I said, it's totally okay. Don't get worked up about it. Just finish doing the layer and then just pop it in the fridge, and then once it's set and hardened a little bit, you're gonna go back and add more frosting and you won't even know that those crumbs are there. It's gonna look great. Alright, I put my cake in the fridge to get that layer set of the frosting, and I'm showing you guys here. I'm going to be making the ears for my bullseye dog cake. I don't know that I mentioned yet in this video that that's what I was making, but my daughter asked for a target cake. I didn't want to do just a plain round cake with a target in the middle, so I decided to make the bullseye dog. So for his ears, I'm just taking a Rice Krispie treat and cutting off like 2 triangle shapes, and I'm going to be putting icing on top of them to make them look like ears and stick toothpicks in them so they can stand up on the top of the cake. So let your guard down, and I say, see it in your mind, trust that have what it takes inside, 'cause you can make it too. If not says who, something knocked you out. You felt your limitations and filled your mind with doubt. You wanna stay chill right now. I just wanted to mention while this is going on that if you decide to make this cake yourself, I ended up needing 2 tubs of the Wilton frosting for the outside and for the ears, and only 1 for the middle layer, and I ended up only needing 1 box of cake mix. Just if you're trying to get a cake of similar size, if you're feeding more people, you might want to make more layers of the cake, or maybe even a second one, or have an option of cupcakes, but this was enough for the amount of people that I had over at my home. have some black decorating frosting from Betty Crocker here that I'm going to be using to decorate the bullseye dog's face. I'm just taking a little bit with a toothpick to add in like little triangles in the ears, just so that you can tell that that's what they are, just to give them, you know, like a little bit of definition. I'll show you what they look like in 1 second. And once I'm done doing this, I'm going to place these in the fridge until the frosting is set and I can pick them up without it coming off on my hands. And I'll be putting more frosting on the back side so that the whole thing is covered when I go to fully assemble the cake.
Now it's clear we are here back at your house, and I keep fading into the background. I'm wide awake now, you keep missing out for sure. Take down your walls and let me ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, brick by brick, now let me ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna be.
Okay, it's been a couple hours. I have a shirt change as well, you might notice, because, you know, hashtag mom life. Everything is always messy. Something's happening. I feel like I can never just wear one outfit all day without something happening. Having a 1-year-old and then 2 other kiddos at home. So I am going to go ahead and add on that second layer of frosting like I told you guys. And this is going to cover up any imperfections, any crumbs, and just make it look, you know, seamless. Another option for cake is fondant. I did not opt to use fondant this time around. It can be a little bit tricky, and I just wasn't feeling it on this particular day. But that could be another option if you're feeling brave. Instead of trying to get the frosting as smooth as possible, you could just kind of slap it on there and then try to roll out some fondant on top. More power to you. I'm just frosting the back of those ears now, like I mentioned earlier, before I stick them onto the cake.
Tried sometimes, but you're making me nervous. No, I've realized.
Alright, now I'm going to be taking that black frosting from earlier and adding on the dog's eyes as well as his nose. I also have this red Betty Crocker frosting. This was not normal frosting. The red one was actually a cookie frosting. That clip, I'm not sure what happened. I'm so sorry. I know that I showed it to the camera, but it's seemingly not here. So I'm letting you know it's the Betty Crocker cookie decorating icing. It has a little bit of a different consistency. It's not as thick as the cake frosting. So I picked that up to draw the bullseye around the dog's eye, just so that it was a little bit more clean. I'm watching this back now and I see the frosting going into the dog's eye. It's okay, I promise, nobody panic. It spread out just a little tiny bit, so I just, did a little bit of surgery with this Q-tip, no, not Q-tip, toothpick here to spread it out, and then, made the eyes even on both sides, and it turned out perfectly fine, no harm, no foul, so it's okay, I promise. The next thing I'm doing is just taking that same cookie decorating frosting, and I'm going around the outside of the cake to kind of do like a collar for the dog, like a red collar. My daughter is all about that glitz and glam, and she loves her some sparkle, so I decided to go back in with that same red, glitter sparkles from earlier, and I scooped them out with a baby spoon here, and I'm just adding it to Bullseye's collar to give it some sheen to, match her energy, and I know she very much appreciated it because she loves all things sparkle. I'm sure if you're watching this and you have a young daughter, you can probably relate. So here's the finished product. I love this so much. I thought this cake was so cute. My daughter loved it. Everybody said it was so cute, and it was really a hit, and it was not that hard to make, but it looks like it was, and I'm very proud of it. The next thing I'm doing is just adding some streamers to my living room. I'm just putting them up in my bay window here at the front of my house along with some balloons. The tape looks so obvious in this picture, but it's really not, I promise. It was just a flash from my camera. It's the next day, it's party day, and I'm showing you guys this adorable Starbucks setup that I have in my coffee bar. The barista from the Starbucks at my Target gave me all of those cups and lids and everything for free when I told her about the party. I picked up some caramel coffee for my drip maker for everybody. I put my cake pops out on display for the little ones. And I got a bottle of the caramel macchiato ice drink, and I put it out with some whipped cream. It was a big hit with the adults. Everybody loved it. And here is my party table. I got this wipeable tablecloth from Walmart, as well as these glitter utensils, and the red ones are from Dollar Tree. I have some popcorn here because you can't have a Target birthday without popcorn, of course. We have Bullseye, the star of the show, her candles, just some chips to snack on, and paper cups and plates from the Dollar Tree. I have some drinks in the fridge, but that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure that, to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments if you plan on having a Target birthday for your child. It was such a fun theme, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching the video. Take care.